Hey everyone, on this YouTube episode, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to break away from the aeroballistic study and talk about pack dump. I recently got done with a 6 days backpack trip in the high country bow hunt, and I'm going to talk about what I brought with me, the clothes, and what I've got in my pack. Stay tuned. So jumping right in, I'm going to start with my bino harness. In my bino harness, this is an actual prototype of the ADAC harness, which I designed. It's made out of a Sitka Jetstream jacket. This is one of the first prototypes, and I still rock it to this day. I love this harness. I've got two wind indicators in these front pockets, NL Pure 10s in the main pocket, and then rangefinder. I used Leopold Full Draw 4 or Full Draw 5 with the Archer's Advantage ballistics in there. That's the vinyl harness. The shirt, I really like the Equinox guard shirts from Sitka. They're really lightweight and breathable. They repel insects as well. There's still some biting flies and mosquitoes occasionally this time of year. It's early in September. They're great sun shirts. They breathe really well. They've got generous hoods and a quarter zip. So really love these hoodies. It's my go-to hoodie. Incredibly breathable. The pants, these are the new Sitka Endure pants with the hip vents. This replaces the mountain pant. Normally this time of year in early September, the mountain pant would be too heavy for me. But especially hiking in the middle of the day. But the new Endure pants with these generous hip vents, has made this kind of Endure, this mountain pant replacement very comfortable this time of year. The ability to breathe, from these hip vents is awesome. Normally, like I said, I would be wearing like the Ascent pant or the Mercury pant or the Intercept pant this time of year. But with the new hip vents, I really love these Endure pants. I love the material. It's very breathable. And there's a little bit more thickness and a little bit more warmth in the mornings. It was about 34 degrees this morning up at 10,000 feet. So a little chilly. In the Ascent pant, that would have been fairly cold. But with this mountain pant replacement, the Endure pant, it was awesome. So really like the pants with the new hip vents. Other than that, really comparable to the mountain pant. The fit is great through the butt, through the waist. I feel like they fit true to size. I got my bow here, Hoyt RX9, Spot Hog Boonie, Spot Hog Wise Guy Release. Arrows are the Easton, it's the Easton X10 Parallel Pro, 300 spine, Flex Fletch 360 vanes, and I've got a combination of the Sever 1.5 and the Sever 1.5 hybrid. And don't know if you can see it, but the Hamsky Epsilon Rest and the Sitka Sling. Okay, so putting the attention here on the pack. So here on the front of the pack, I have my glassing pad. This is one of the critical pieces of gear I consider in my pack. It's not your typical glassing pad. I've searched long and hard for what I feel like is my ideal glassing pad, and I think I found it with this. I've rocked this for about 10 years. What's so good about this pad is it only weighs about 5 ounces, but it's multiple layers. So you can see that this is all beat up because I've used this for 5 years or so, and it's been laying on rocks and I literally put it down on rocks and hard places, so it kind of gets cut up. But literally, I've used this exact pad for like 5 years, and pads like this for about 10 years. Anyway, it's about 80 inches long, and 26 inches wide. So the reason why I cut it to these dimensions is my sleeping pad can fit on this. I can lay out comfortably on this. So it's more than just a glassing pad. So when I'm glassing, I sit on it about like that. You can double it up even and have a lot of cushion. Sit on it like that. If I'm leaning against a rock, I can recline this against a rock and have it support my back. If I'm laying down to take a nap, sometimes I'll fold it out like that. And in a few occasions, I've actually bivvied overnight without a sleeping bag, cut pine boughs, and I used this as a pad to insulate me from the ground because it's full length. At night, to protect my thermarest pad, I put this underneath my thermarest pad to protect the pad from any sort of sticks or rocks that could potentially breach the pad and make it leak. So all in all, this is I think it's an excellent investment. You can wrap it around you in case you're losing a layer. It's completely waterproof. So if it's wet, you can extend this out and you can sit on it and keep you dry. You can also, never had to do it. I've never had to do it, but with some string, you can use this as a splint as well to help you get out of the backcountry. So all in all, I think it's a really good investment. So tripod. So this is the Kafaru Hoodlum 2.0. This is a large belt pouch. My Really Right Stuff Ascend tripod goes in this pocket. It's actually supporting the camera, which I'm using to film this video. In this other side pocket, I've got the Swarovski ATX 115 with the all-in digiscoping adapter. In this main bag, or in the brain pack, I have two Nightcore battery packs. These are really small, the lightest ones I've found. Nightcore headlamp is 2,000 lumens. This is a badass headlamp. iPhone cord, a lens cloth and a lens wipe, Sterapen, Aqua tabs. I do not carry a filter. I feel like it's a waste of weight. Backup phone cord. This is Love These Knives, Montana Knife Company. This is the Stoned Goat in the I believe it's the Magnica. It's the stainless option. Love that blade. Outdoorsman's bino adapter with a small Arca plate. Extra wind indicator. Headphones. Extra battery for the headlamp, and one extra wind indicator. So this hunt was a fairly dry ridge and peak that I was working to glass and bow hunt. So I had a lot of my own water. Sometimes in the high country, you don't want to eat and drink. I think the high country in the altitude in general wants to suppress that in you. So anything that you'll drink. I really like these Body Armor Light peach mango. They go down really easy. So I had 3 of those. Anytime I cross a spring, I fill them back up, and these are obviously really lightweight. Cold camp. So this is what I kept my food in for 3 days. This round was 3 days. I did a previous three rounder earlier in the trip. Some more water. So optics wise, these are the Swarovski NL Pure 14s. So these are poles for my shelter. It's the Durston X Mid Pro with the Dyneema composite fabric. Really, really, really strong shelter. It's a single wall shelter. I think it weighs less than 2 pounds. I've rocked it for 2 years. I've had zero problems with it. What I really like about the Dyneema composite fabric is it doesn't stretch when wet. So I'll talk about it a little bit more when I get to it. So I've got two layers. I've got the Ambient 100 from Sitka. I love this layer. Really breathable, really lightweight. That's kind of my mid layer. The Sitka down jacket. I believe this is called the Hyper Down. Really good jacket. Almost too warm for this time of year, but for the brisk mornings, it's nice. Really lightweight Sitka rain jacket. This is in a Kafaru stuff sack, but this is what I keep my Durston in. The X-Mid Pro, really awesome tent. And I've got 5. I've used groundhog stakes. They hold better and they don't bend as easy with that Durston. Kill kit, some really, I can't remember what game bags I've got in there, but they're really small. I have 3 game bags, extra gloves. I've got some other stuff in there as well. This, I've got some emergencies in here, like some bandages, some duct tape, a couple of zip ties, Neosporin. I've got allergy medicine, and ibuprofen, and 3 game bags. In this bag, I've got my Thermarest Neo Air. This thing's awesome. The newer version that's not as crinkly. This is the yellow one. It's the 25-inch wide and long. I'm a stomach sleeper, so I like the long, even though I'm not that tall. And this is a 30-degree sleeping bag. This particular one is from Katabatica. It's the quilt with a sewn-in footer, extremely lightweight. I keep it in this Sea to Summit waterproof bag because it is, I've had occasions where, in fact, in this particular mountain range, I was up backpacking. We went in on horses actually, and one of the horses fell into the river and soaked my hunting partner's sleeping bag. So ever since then, I've been really cautious about keeping my sleeping bag stuffed in a waterproof stuff case. So then I got my tags in this pocket here. Body wipes in that pocket. That's usually where I keep my headlamp as well. And then another critical piece of gear for me, since I run a stoveless camp, this is a titanium water bottle that is essentially sized like an Algene. It accepts the cap, Human Gear cap lid. Very versatile lid. You can dip this into the stream like this, put this cap on, and it keeps your mouthpiece completely free of that potentially contaminated water. I can stir a pen in this. The other beautiful thing about this being titanium is if it sits in the sun, it's not leaching plastic. And the most important thing for me, since I run a cold camp, I have no stove. If I do need to heat up water for any reason to get warm up, I can build a small fire and I can literally set this in the fire with the cap off and boil my water that way. So it allows me to run it allows me to have some warm water if I need it while still not carrying a stove. So that's basically the breakdown of everything that I had with me. I basically did 2 3-day stints. That's kind of everything I used. And typically one thing, I didn't have it in this occasion, but I generally like to take it in addition to my kill kit. So I've got pretty thin game bags. I can't remember the names of them, so I'll flash the name of the game bag. But I usually like to carry one black contractor bag, the fairly heavy duty kind, to put the meat inside my pack. That's also a great thing. It's waterproof if I need to put my pack inside of it. Although the Durston tent has 2 really good sized vestibules. that my pack will fit in there. But if I'm out and about and it looks like rain's coming and I don't have time to set up the tent, that contractor bag is not only great for the kill kit, but to also put stuff into it if you need to ditch your pack or if it starts to downpour. Now that I've got everything emptied out of here, I just want to give a little bit more detail on the pack itself. This is the new Kifaru Hoodlum pack that they released this year. I've actually been a strong believer in the Hoodlum, the original Hoodlum. And I've used it for many, many years. I was really honored when Sitka approached me to help redesign the Hoodlum 2.0. So I had a lot of recommendations for the new Hoodlum and a lot of design input. Really love the new two-way zipper. The zip goes all the way up through the snow collar, so it's really easy to splay the pack all the way open. As you saw, that's a great addition. I love the new sleeve at the bottom. The cam of the bow fits in here nicely, or the butt of a rifle. The other great addition is, what I really liked, is these oversized side pockets. They now easily fit a Swarovski ATX 115, whereas before it was a tight fit. The other thing that's been improved is the radius of the zipper. It makes getting in and out of these pockets a lot easier. When the pack is full, you can actually open these one-handed pretty easily. With the pack empty like this and floppy, it's a little trickier. But that radius is not as tight anymore, so it's easier to open the bag. I rock this pack with a large hip belt pouch that I put as a brain. I've got a small hip pouch here and the Gen 2 water bottle holder. So I keep it pretty simple. Obviously, the Kifaru arc frame is legit. Best hunting frame I've ever used. I've had 150 pounds on this load coming out of the Colorado high country. Actually was in on llamas, and the llama basically gave up. So for the last 3 miles, I had 150 pounds in this on one of the prototype frames. Really love this bag. Love the bag, love the frame. It's a killer backcountry setup. I'll do a kind of a more in-depth video of the bag itself, but I really love having my optics, my spotting scope in one of the bag pockets and one of the optics, or my spotting scope on one side and the tripod on the other, while still allowing to keep my bow on the front or my rifle on the front. So I can set my pack down, and without having to take my weapon off, I can access my tripod and my spotting scope. Really, really love this pack. That's it. Hope you really enjoyed this video. As always, like and subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. And hit that bell for notifications. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks.